Hey, everybody. Tim here. So, an interesting thing is happening a lot in the board gaming community. And I'm sure, I mean, this does just happen in everyday life. It's part of our lives. And that's why it's one of the things as I've gotten older, I start coming up with these little mantras, things I try to live by that I think would make me a better person. And one of those that I use is to go by what I know, not what I've been told. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of stuff going on, like all the time, right? In our lives, in society, in the news, in whatever. And especially on social media platforms nowadays with, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all these things, there's a lot of chatter, and a lot of it tends to be sometimes not productive. A lot of it tends to be toxic and bad. But a lot of it is also a lot of people chiming in, saying things, only sort of echoing what they've been told, and they really don't know what they're talking about or what they need to say. And again, I'm not perfect when it comes to this. I try really, really hard to make sure when I have discussions, civil discourse or whatever it is, that I know what I'm talking about. I've done my research, checked my sources, and like on the internet, I check at least 3 sources to kind of verify what I want to claim is for me the truth, whatever, of a subject or a topic or whatever. Because again, you can't just go to one source and claim that that is the end all be all. So you need to do your work. So that's what I mean by what you know. Because let's talk about just board game specific, okay? Because again, a lot of this stuff happens in life, but let's bring it back to the board game world. There's, been a lot of stuff going on recently with some game designers, publishers, owners of companies, individuals, whatever. And I see a lot of stuff, and I see a lot of comments. I see a lot of people posting, saying things, but I'm wondering how much people actually know, really know, when they make a comment or come to a decision. Because some of this stuff takes a lot of work. There was one particular one that I really tried to do some research, and it was daunting. I really tried to dig in and find out, is this real? What's this about? What do they think? What do they think? And I would just get all over the place. It was just hard for me to make what I consider an informed decision on this particular topic. Others sometimes are easy, clear cut, boom. But at least go do the research. Don't just be an echo chamber by what you've been told. Go by what you know. And I'm just going to want to give a short little story about me personally, and maybe some of you can relate to this, and you may have seen this or whatever. But what I mean about what you know and not what you've been told. So I'm an organizer of Dice Tower West. It's me and Dave, along with Tom, of course. But Dave and I started MeepleCon, and then we partnered up with Tom to form Dice Tower West. However, I read so many threads, articles, comments, or whatever you want, of people who were like, oh, the Dice Tower came in and gobbled up, MeepleCon. They did this, they took it over, blah, blah, blah. And a personal story, somebody walked into Meepleville, a customer, a friend, I've known this, whatever. A customer more or less, but they've been in there and I know them first name basis and all that. And they walked in and they're like, oh, you still enjoying, running the convention? Oh, yeah. Oh, I feel really sorry for you. I'm like, well, why is that? And they were like, oh, because, they kind of, came in and took it away from you and did all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, well, the Dice Tower, they came in and, I'm like, no, Tom is my partner. He's one of our partners now with Dave and I. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. And I'm just thinking, well, me, you could have just asked me. You could have come to the source. And then I'm reading the stuff on forums and threads. And I'm like, there are 3 people who could have answered that question, me, Dave, or Tom. But I'm reading all these things and people are making statements, actual factual statements of what had happened. What is this? And I'm like, I don't know where that's coming from. So again, there's so much stuff going on, and that's just my personal story, but maybe to illustrate that to you. But in the board gaming genre, there's a lot. And one of the ways that we can sort of lessen the toxicity, lessen the negativity, get all this stuff out is to try hard to not just be an echo chamber, not just to comment on what you've been told. Do some research, put in the work. Go by what you know, not what you've been told. Make an informed decision before you just say things, because a lot of times they may not be true. They may not be the full story. There may be whatever. All I'm saying is, please go by what you know. Do the work, do the research, verify facts, not what you've been told. Anyway, those are just some of the things I've been thinking. Thanks for watching.